A leaked memo by a top Facebook executive justifying the firm's controversial data practices has caused outrage at the company's headquarters. More than 3,000 Facebook employees have reacted to an internal post about the memo by Vice President of Consumer Hardware, Andrew Bosworth. In the memo, Bosworth gives a candid look into how far the technology giant is willing to go in order to become the world's most popular social media platform. He admits that the firm engages in questionable contact importing practices but claims it is worth it even if it costs someone a life. Many employees are angry and heartbroken that their colleagues are sharing internal company discussions with the media. The contents of the memo, however, has caused very little criticism and has been described as super popular internally. The Verge viewed an internal post in which thousands of Facebook employees responded with a combination of likes, sad, and angry reactions. Many employees supported Bosworth, and praised him for sharing the company's feelings. However, some criticized him for deleting the post because it looked like the company had something to hide. Others criticized the unknown leakers at the company and said the firm needed to crack down on employees that lack integrity. Very few voiced outrage at the actual content of the memo, according to The Verge. The comments were made in light of yesterday's publication of a June 2016 memo by BuzzFeed. In the memo titled "The Ugly," Bosworth admits that the firm uses subtle language that helps people stay searchable by friends, all for the purpose of growing the service. He even ventures as far as to say that if connecting people causes someone to die in a terrorist attack coordinated on our tools, that it's all part of the effort to achieve growth. Many Facebook employees have since criticized the leakers at the firm. "Leakers, please resign instead of sabotaging the company," one wrote in a comment under Bosworth's post. Another said, "How terrible that some irresponsible jerk decided he or she had some god complex that jeopardizes our inner culture and something that makes Facebook great." Although we all subconsciously look for signal on integrity in interviews, should we consider whether this needs to be formalized in the interview process? One wrote another, "This is so disappointing, wonder if there is a way to hire for integrity. We are probably focusing on the intelligence part and getting smart people here who lack a moral compass and loyalty." Others slammed Bosworth for deleting the post. "Deleting things usually looks bad in retrospect," one wrote. "Please don't feed the fire by giving these individuals more fuel, e.g., Facebook execs deleting internal communications. If we are no longer open and transparent, and instead lock down and delete, then our culture is also destroyed, but by our own hand." One employee suggested that Facebook had been targeted by spies. "Keep in mind that leakers could be intentionally placed bad actors, not just employees making a one-off bad decision," they wrote. The firm's data collection tactics have been in focus after it was revealed that 50 million members' data had been harvested without their knowledge. Bosworth's years-old comments appear in stark contrast to what has been said publicly by Facebook in the wake of the Cambridge Analytica row. Facebook boss Mark Zuckerberg and COO Sheryl Sandberg have made the rounds in recent days to apologize for how it mismanaged users' data and have announced several steps to remedy the situation, including banning user data from third-party aggregators. But Bosworth seemed to show little remorse for the unintended consequences of Facebook's controversial data collection techniques, which he says is all for the goal of connecting people. "We connect people. Period. That's why all the work we do in growth is justified," Bosworth wrote in the memo. That can be bad if they make it negative. Maybe it costs a life by exposing someone to bullies. Maybe someone dies in a terrorist attack coordinated on our tools. And we still connect people," he added. Facebook boss Mark Zuckerberg quickly came to Bosworth's defense in a statement issued late Thursday. "We've never believed the ends justify the means," Zuckerberg said in a statement to BuzzFeed. Since joining Facebook in 2006 from Microsoft, Bosworth has risen to become one of Zuckerberg's top lieutenants. He often speaks out in defense of the company on Twitter. In a statement on Thursday, Bosworth said he didn't agree with the BuzzFeed report. A former Facebook executive defended Bosworth's internal memo, telling BuzzFeed that the memo was super popular internally. Another former Facebook employee said the memo was just Boz being Buzz. Others said Bosworth exhibits questionable behaviors at the company. "He is definitely a guy who isn't very diplomatic. He'd blunder into internal debates and internal comms would tend to keep an eye on what he's doing and posting," a former senior Facebook employee told BuzzFeed. The memo is classic Boz because it speaks to the majority of Facebook employee views, but it's also polarizing. "This is clearly a post meant to rally the troops," the employee added. Despite this, the memo gives a glimpse into how some of Facebook's top executives felt they were doing the right thing by trying to connect people. The ugly truth is that we believe in connecting people so deeply that anything that allows us to connect more people more often is de facto good, Bosworth wrote. It is perhaps the only area where the metrics do tell the true story as far as we are concerned. That isn't something we are doing for ourselves. Or for our stock price, ha. It is literally just what we do. We connect people. Period. BuzzFeed noted that the memo was posted on Facebook in an employee-only group just one day after a Chicago man was shot dead on Facebook Live, the firm's live streaming platform. Facebook's vast treasure troves of user data have rapidly become the backbone behind its $450 billion market capitalization. The firm now boasts 2 billion-plus advertisers, a statistic that has become enticing to many advertisers. It's only now that many Facebook members are waking up to the fact that the firm has access to mountains of personal data, ranging from call logs to messages and other information. Facebook maintains that it doesn't sell any user data and doesn't collect the contents of call logs or messages. But that hasn't stopped many users from heavily criticizing the firm's data collection tactics. Legislators and data privacy experts are now calling on Facebook to be regulated by the federal government. In recent days, Zuckerberg has admitted that he believes Facebook and other tech giants should be susceptible to some kind of regulation. The firm has also taken several steps to try and curb some of its data collection tactics. The company is removing a feature that allowed marketers to target adverts using information from people's lives collected outside of Facebook. Facebook on Wednesday also put all its privacy settings on one page and made it easier to stop third-party apps from using personal information.